God of peace and justice, we ask your blessing upon our country on this Memorial Day. Grant perfect peace to those who have bravely laid down their lives in defense of our country, beneath the shelter of your divine presence, and may their souls be forever bound up in the bond of life. Comfort the families of these servicemen and women who have fallen in battle, that they should henceforth know only joy and happiness. Help us to be true to the sacred values of liberty that our citizen army has bravely defended for almost 250 years. Protect those who currently serve in our armed forces, both at home and abroad, as they face death and injury every day, so that we can enjoy the freedom that we so deeply cherish. Heal those veterans who are in hospitals and nursing homes across this land, and let us always remember their loyal service to our country and to help them in their time of need. Bless the work of the hands of healthcare providers who are caring for our veterans. Guide our leaders so that they may lead us with wisdom and righteousness. Grant us the courage to defend human rights, preserve freedom, dignity, and justice, and ultimately bring peace to a troubled world. And let us say, Amen.
Halt! Right shoulder. Halt! Ready.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right
Hi, this is Fred Sganga, Executive Director of the Long Island State Veterans Home at Stony Brook University. This Memorial Day, we remember all those who made the ultimate sacrifice to defend the freedoms we all enjoy as Americans today. And while the way we honor veterans this Memorial Day will be different, the sentiment remains the same. We need to remember those who left the comforts of home to fight for us and our freedom, but never returned to one day trade the title of soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, or Coast Guardsman for the title of veteran. We often hear that freedom has a price and that each generation pays its due. Today is our day to say thank you to those who for generations have foot the bill, to those who have paid so dearly with their lives, and to the families and friends whose lives have changed forever and who we owe an enormous debt. As we stand here in the midst of a global pandemic, this year's Memorial Day ceremony has a special meaning for many state veterans' homes around the country. The novel coronavirus, known as COVID-19, has produced tragic losses that have taken the toll on our families and our staff. Please know how we are all grieving at this time, as we have lost many veterans who were part of the great community we call the Long Island State Veterans Home. All those lost in the battle against COVID-19 will be remembered for their selfless sacrifice of military service. Freedom is not free, and it is with deep appreciation that we thank these veterans. While the past 10 weeks have been full of pain and sorrow, one thing has remained strong. That is the support of the Stony Brook University and the support of all our elected officials, many of whom are joining us today in this virtual Memorial Day ceremony. As we begin this virtual Memorial Day ceremony, let me take a moment to thank all our veterans for their incredible service to our great nation, and to let you know that we will never, ever, ever forget the service of those who have died in battle to protect this country and to preserve the liberties we enjoy today as Americans. May God bless you all, and may God bless America.
My name is Bob Smith. I'm the chairman of the Long Island State Veterans Home Advisory Board here at Stony Brook. On behalf of all the veterans on our Veterans Advisory Board, we'd like to thank you for joining us at this Memorial Day remembrance. We thank you for remembering all our servicemen and women who have fallen from our ranks. They will never be forgotten. They will gratefully be remembered each and every day. Thank you.
I'm Michael Bernstein, Interim President of Stony Brook University, and as we approach the Memorial Day weekend, I want to convey my greetings to our heroes, the veterans in the Long Island State Veterans Home and their loved ones. Your sacrifice, your service means so much to us, especially now in this time of great national and world trial. We're thinking of you, we celebrate you, and we send you our best wishes on this holiday weekend.
Hello, everybody. This is Senator Chuck Schumer. To all of our Long Island State Veterans Home family, I wish you a good Memorial Day. To all those in our armed services, to all our veterans, and to all families of veterans who have made the ultimate sacrifice, thank you once again for your service to our country. I know that this year we can't celebrate together in person, but I am with all of you in spirit, and I carry you all in my thoughts and in my prayers. It has been a difficult past few months for all of us due to the coronavirus, and you at the Veterans Home know that better than anybody. But this Memorial Day, I draw strength from all of you who've sacrificed for our nation so that we can enjoy the blessings of liberty, and those of you who are fighting to protect our nation's heroes from this awful virus. I promise that as we fight back against this disease, I'll do everything I can to make sure you're safe and that you are cared for, just as you have cared for us. So thank you once again for your service. A good Memorial Day to all. And until we can see each other again, my best wishes, stay safe.
I want to send this Memorial Day message to everyone at the Long Island State Veterans Home in Stony Brook. All the veterans who are there who have served our nation in decades and generations past know well the ultimate sacrifice of their peers. Our brothers and sisters who served with us, who never returned home to their families, their lives cut short in service to our country in conflicts past. This weekend is not a weekend about the beaches or the barbecues or the sails. It's about honoring and remembering and reflecting on those who paid that ultimate sacrifice in defense of our freedoms and our liberties. This Memorial Day weekend, let's pause and honor each and every one of those lives, to think about them in our prayers and reflect on just how consequential their sacrifices were to make our nation the greatest nation in the world. If not for their service, if not for their sacrifice, what would our country and this world look like today? We certainly wouldn't have this opportunity to live in the most exceptional nation on earth if not for each and every one of them. And we also think about their families, their friends, those who carried on the rest of their lives without their loved one because of that sacrifice that was made. We thank all of them. We honor all of them, including those Gold Star families. To everyone at the Long Island State Veterans Home, I hope that you have an opportunity to enjoy this Memorial Day weekend, but also to reflect on this somber memorial. I also want to thank those in leadership at the Long Island State Veterans Home. From Fred Sganga, Jonathan Spear, to all of the staff, everyone who's there taking care of our veterans, thank you for what you do every day, not just right now today, but every day of the year. It's a very special place, Long Island State Veterans Home in Stony Brook, and I look forward to being back to see you all in person sometime soon.
My friends, it's my great honor to greet you on this Memorial Day under the shadow of the coronavirus pandemic. As we face these dark and uncertain times, we need to look no further for inspiration than those honored war dead that we remember today, this Memorial Day. Throughout our nation's history, it is those that fought, those veterans that gave the last full measure of devotion, that gave us our nation and our world as we have it here today. Whether we go back to Washington's troops during the Revolution to create this nation, as they lost battle after battle, think of the dark and uncertain times that they faced in that struggle. We look back to the Civil War when brother fought brother, and the carnage on the fields, and the amputations, and the misery, and the uncertainty and darkness of those times as we tried to create and preserve our union. We think of World War I and the trenches and the mustard gas and the battle to preserve the world for democracy. We think of World War II, the bloodstained beaches of Normandy. Think of the darkness and uncertainty of those men. We think of the Korean War, the Chosin Reservoir, and the freezing cold, and the rice paddies of Vietnam. We think of the war on terror and facing roadways lined with improvised explosive devices. Think of the darkness and uncertainty that they faced. So on this Memorial Day, as we look for hope and inspiration, we need to look no further than those that fought in the battles that we won and those that fought in the battles that we lost. Whether they carried a rifle or they worked on KP duty or as a mechanic. Whether they died in a blaze of glory on the front line or they went down to sickness and disease. We remember with gratitude this Memorial Day every veteran that gave their life for this nation. We remember them with gratitude. We look to them for inspiration and hope as we face these dark and uncertain times. And we pledge to never forget the sacrifice that they made on our behalf. Thank you.
Hello, this is New York State Comptroller Tom DiNapoli. On Memorial Day, we pay tribute to the brave men and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt said, "In the truest sense, freedom cannot be bestowed. It must be achieved." Our nation has risen to many challenges over the years and prevailed as the leader of the free world. We enjoy liberty thanks to those who laid down their lives to defend us from tyranny and protect the American way of life. We owe our fallen service members a debt of gratitude that can never be repaid. Let's make sure we remember what Memorial Day is really all about.
This is Assemblyman Mike Fitzpatrick. I want to wish all of our heroes and staff at the Long Island State Veterans Home at Stony Brook University a very solemn and important Memorial Day. This is a day where we remember those who were not fortunate enough to make it home after this nation's many conflicts. And it is very important that we say thank you to those who did come home, and that we always remember those who did not. This year, due to the current circumstances with the coronavirus, this is the most unique Memorial Day any of us have ever had. Yet we must still take time to remember, say thank you to those who are still with us for what you did for all of us. At this time of year, I like to remember that famous poem called "It Is the Soldier" by Charles Province. And it goes, many of you have heard it, it's not the minister who gave us freedom of religion, it is the soldier, the men and women of our military. It's not the campus organizer that gave us the freedom to protest, it's the men and women of our military. It's not the politician who gave us the right to vote, it's the men and women of our military. It is a wonderful poem, and I enjoy reading it every year, and it brings to mind why this day is so important. So without the sacrifices that each and every one of you have made, and especially those who are not fortunate enough to be here with us, we are able to live in the freest and most prosperous and best country on earth, bar none. So I hope you have an enjoyable day under these rather unusual and difficult circumstances, but I just want to join all of my colleagues who you've heard from so far to say thank you. We miss you. We so appreciate everything that you did for us. And just closing, every year at this time we also watch Saving Private Ryan, which is one of the all-time great films. And one of my favorite scenes is that last scene on the bridge in France where Tom Hanks lay mortally wounded and says to Matt Damon, who plays Private Ryan, he says to him, "Earn this." I hope we earn your respect. We try every day to do the best we can, but thanks to your efforts and the sacrifices you all have made for us, I hope we earn it. Thank you for our freedoms. Thank you for allowing us to enjoy the best quality of life anywhere on the planet. And again, thank you for everything you've done for all of us. Have a very enjoyable day, and think of your fellow comrades and the good times that you had with them before they were lost. Thank you very much.
I'm Suffolk County Executive Steve Bellone, and I'm here in Armed Forces Plaza at the H. Lee Dennison Building, our county headquarters. And this is the place where we come together as a community to gather to honor the men and women who have sacrificed for our country. This year, due to COVID-19, we're not able to gather the way that we normally do to honor the men and women who have served and sacrificed for our country. I always look forward every year to coming to the Memorial Day ceremony that's held at the State Veterans Home, and to see all the veterans there, to see all of you. And I'm so grateful for everything that you have done for our country. And I'm sorry that we couldn't gather together and be with you for that ceremony this year. But I wanted to send a message to you here at Armed Forces Plaza on behalf of everyone in this county, the 1.5 million residents of Suffolk County, to say to you that we admire and respect and love you for what you have done and what you have meant to this country, and what you've done for our community as well. The one thing that we know about our veterans is that they come home from their service, but they continue to serve our community and our country in so many different ways. So I'm grateful for everything that you've done for our community and our country. And I know that this year we are recognizing and commemorating the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II. And this would be normally Memorial Day, a time where we really would, as a nation and as a world really, recognizing and honoring all of our World War II veterans for what they did 75 years ago to literally save the world from tyranny. So to all of our World War II veterans, for everything that you did to earn that title of the greatest generation, our thanks to you and our gratitude to you for all that. And our intent, our plan certainly is to be back together again when we get past this crisis. There's no one in this county who knows better the meaning of sacrifice, what it means to get through adversity and difficult, incredibly challenging circumstances, and to power your way through that, than all of you at the State Veterans Home. You truly do represent the best of us as a country, and we will get through this crisis, and I know we will, because we have people like you who we can look to inspire us, to show us the way of how we move forward in times of crisis. So we will get past this COVID-19 crisis, and I'm very hopeful, and I know that we will be together again at some point and be able to greet one another and to share stories and talk to one another the way that we always have in the past. And until that time, we just want you to know that all of us in Suffolk County are so grateful to you for everything you've done for our country and for our community here. God bless you this Memorial Day. To all the staff at the State Veterans Home, to Fred Sganga and your entire team of dedicated public servants, we thank you for everything that you have done throughout this crisis to support and to work to help our American heroes at the State Veterans Home. Thank you, and have a good Memorial Day.
Hello to our nation's heroes. I am Hahn, Deputy Presiding Officer of the Suffolk County Legislature. I am so very sorry that the global COVID-19 pandemic has prevented me from being there with you today. Thank you to the Long Island State Veterans Home staff, whose tireless efforts every year ensure a fitting tribute to our community's fallen servicemen and women. There are no words strong enough or thanks sincere enough to express the gratitude that I and our community have for the sacrifice of those who have lost their lives in defense of this great nation and our freedoms. On this Memorial Day, despite the absence of parades or the limitations on ceremonies, let our genuine gratitude serve as an honor to the brave men and women who never returned home. It is because of them and those who continue to be willing to protect freedom at any cost that we are truly free. To all veterans hearing this message, thank you for your service.
Hi everybody, this is Jim McDonough, the Director of the New York State Division of Veterans Services. I'm standing in front of the New York State World War II Memorial on the occasion of Memorial Day 2020. And to the staff and family members and residents of the Long Island State Veterans Home, some of whom fought as the greatest generation alongside their brothers and sisters during World War II, I wish you the very best. I know these times have been trying. I know the stress associated with this pandemic has taken a very heavy toll on the families of the Long Island State Veterans Home. I am beyond words with sorrow associated with the loss of life and the devastation that this pandemic has had on our veteran families. You should know that as a veteran myself, I am with you in spirit, in mind, and body, wishing you the very best upon this day. Things that are associated with serving in our country, not everyone gets. You get it. You know what your dads, you know what your moms, you know what your brothers, you know what your sisters, you know what your sons, you know what your daughters have put themselves through to wear the flag of an American veteran. I wish I could be with you in person. I am there in spirit and in kindness to help console you during these very dark days. We've had dark days before. World War II was one of those very dark days in American history. But just as World War II ended and the nation got on with the nation's business, so too shall the nation get on with the nation's business following this pandemic. My hearts are with you. This Memorial Day is special to people like me. I'm writing to you as Jim, an American veteran. I miss you all. I wish I was there to celebrate with you, to walk the halls, to remember with those great Americans who fought and died and gave their sacrifices so that this nation could be free. I miss you. I wish you the very best on Memorial Day. To Fred and Jonathan and the untiring efforts of your staff to guide the ship of the Long Island State Veterans Home through this period in our nation's history will not go unnoticed by those who matter. To the families, stay strong. Please, please be kind to one another. Find in your hearts the ability to console one another and remember the sacrifices of those who served our country. Thank you and have a wonderful Memorial Day.
Driving down this broken road, I don't know where it goes, so I'll take the time to write a rhyme. It's your eternal rose. From dusk to dawn I sing a song, pray God return me home, 'cause it's been too long and I ain't that strong alone. Wanna hold you tight and never let you go. I will be together, do or die as we forever, even though for now we're worlds apart. When you feel alone, read this letter, know that I will leave you never. You will be forever in my heart. You are everything that I needed from the start. Arriving at the gates of hell, I don't know what will be, but I know that I will be alright, 'cause you are all I see. And if I should find that peace of mind in strawberry fields, baby don't you cry, 'cause I know in time you'll heal. I am doing fine and heaven sure is real. You and I will be together, do or die as we forever, even
Flannis Fields. In Flannis Fields, the poppies grow between the courses, row on row, that mark our place. We are the dead short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flannis Fields. Take up the quarrel not with the foe. To you from falling hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. For if ye break faith with us who died, poppies will not grow in Flannis Fields.
As we gather today to remember our veterans, past, present, and future, we celebrate their lives. We celebrate the gifts and the talents that they have brought to the table in order to defend our country, our way of life, our liberty, and we especially remember all those who gave their lives for our country so that you and I can be here to celebrate this service, to be of service to one another, to be of service to our Lord. And we ask all this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
all of our veterans in the United States Army. Remembering all of our veterans in the United States Marine Corps. Remembering all of our veterans in the United States Navy. Remembering all of our veterans in the United States Air Force. Remembering our veterans in the United States Coast Guard.
was blind, but now I see. Grace that taught my heart to feel, and grace my fears relieved. A precious gift, that grace first
If tomorrow all the things were gone I worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. 'Cause I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died and gave that right to me. I'd gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. There ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, out across the plains of Texas, and from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, where there's pride in say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died and gave that right to me. I'd gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. Oh, there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died and gave that right to me. I'd gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. Oh, there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Thank you all so much.
Does it make you feel the way I feel when it dances in the sky? When you place your hand against your heart, do you know the reason why? Is it just some colored thread weaved from a bow? Or does it make you think about the ones who sacrificed it all? This flag, a picture painted in the wind, going through each generation, never giving in. This flag, it stands for more than just one thing. It stands for life and liberty and you and me. It stands for everything. This flag, it is strong in the face of danger, but some choose to burn it down. Well, if the ashes fly, no, I won't cry, 'cause it all comes back around to what it really means to be free and what is in your heart. So they can tear it all down to the ground, but that'll never tear us apart. This flag, a picture painted in the wind, blowing through each generation, never giving in. This flag, it stands for more than just one thing. It stands for life and liberty and you and me. It stands for everything. This flag, red, white, and blue, colors fade over time. What do they mean to you? Will you let it die? Please don't let it die. This flag, a picture painted in the wind, blowing through each generation, never giving in. This flag, it stands for more than just one thing. It stands for life and liberty and you and me. It stands for everything, yeah. It stands for life and liberty and you and me. It stands for everything. This flag.
Thank you for being with us this afternoon or this morning. And we have gathered together today to honor and remember those who stood up and answered the call of freedom, those who gave their lives for the ideals on which this nation was founded and the hope and faith in which we live. So I encourage you to be still for a moment and know this, that those who gave their lives here are words of thanks and gratitude for their service. And they would encourage us to keep shining and to keep standing for our nation and even the world, to keep shining for friendship, brotherhood and sisterhood, and most important of all, to keep on standing for love, because it's love of our nation, love of this world, that makes it all worth it. God bless you, and God's peace be with you. Amen.